The following special presentation of WKBN's Big 22 is sponsored by RD Construction, Fred Martin Ford, the Moransky Companies, Coca's Pizza, and BCI Granite. Welcome to the WKBN Big 22.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 WKBN Big 22. My name is Ryan Allison, Sports Director here at WKBN TV, and tonight is a very special night for us, as well as high school football fans across the valley. Thousands of players, coaches, and families are watching this evening to find out who made the Big 22. Over the last 17 years, some of the best high school football players in our valley's history have earned that title of Big 22. Players like Warren Harding's Lynn Bowden, currently playing wideout in the NFL with the New Orleans Saints. Boardman's Corey Lindsley, a 10-year NFL vet and all-pro center for the Chargers. James Daniels, another Harding grad and starter up front for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And countless others who have made an impact in the NFL, as well as some of the biggest college football programs in the country. Tonight, 22 more will add their name to that legacy. It's an accomplishment that is not easily earned. So how do you make the Big 22? Well, it starts in the preseason when players are nominated by coaches, media, and sometimes fans. And we keep adding to that list throughout the season to create a ballot. This year, that ballot had well over 100 deserving players on it. They were the best high school football players from 56 schools across 4 counties. The Big 22, however, is the best of the best. So who decides? The answer is a lot of people. The ballot is sent to every high school football coach in the area and more than 25 members of the media. More than 80 people that love high school football vote for the Big 22. And once again, the entire valley was well represented. This year's class has players from big schools, small schools, public and private, and all 4 counties that now share a common bond, the Big 22. This was a very special season here in the Valley. We had 37 local teams in the playoffs this year across 4 counties and 4 local teams that played 14 weeks of football. Most of those are well represented in this year's class, as you will soon see, because the wait is over. After months of football and weeks of voting, here is the first look at our WKBN Big 22.
Austin Klein, Beaver Local.
Back-to-back years on the Big 22 for Austin Klein. The Beavers QB threw for over 1,800 yards, rushed for over 1,200, and accounted for 41 total touchdowns this season. He will graduate with over 9,000 total yards and 9 school records.
Dan Evans III, Austintown Fitch.
The Falcons wideout broke a school record with 60 receptions this season. Evans posted 687 yards receiving and became the all-time leader in both receptions and receiving touchdowns at Austintown Fitch.
Deshaun Vaughn, Austintown Fitch.
A team captain and 2-way starter for the Falcons, Deshaun Vaughn threw for nearly 1,900 yards and 18 total touchdowns this season. He also recorded 45 tackles on defense and helped lead Fitch to the playoffs for 3 consecutive seasons.
Danny Inglis, Canfield.
Another season on the Big 22 for Danny Inglis. The Cards' 2-time captain racked up 65 tackles this season and 3 sacks. He'll suit up next year for Iowa State.
Colin Summers, Sharpsville.
No one has thrown for more yards in Sharpsville history than Colin Summers. The Blue Devils quarterback piled up over 2,100 yards through the air and over 800 on the ground this season. He will graduate with over 5,500 yards passing and 83 touchdowns.
Bo Alizos, West Branch.
Quarterback of that big green scoring machine, Alizos lit up the scoreboard this year with a staggering 3,347 yards passing and 41 total touchdowns, helping lead West Branch to 11 straight wins and their 4th consecutive conference title.
Ashton O'Brien, Cardinal Mooney.
The Cards quarterback stuffed the stat sheet again this season with 2,100 yards passing, 600 rushing, and 31 total touchdowns. O'Brien broke 7 school records and will graduate as the all-time leader in passing yards, completions, and touchdowns.
Christian Lynch, Ursuline.
Christian Lynch rushed for nearly 1,500 yards this season and scored 24 times. He's back on the Big 22 for another season, but this time he'll bring some friends.
Jack Erickson, Ursuline.
The Fighting Irish quarterback threw for over 2,400 yards, ran for over 400, and accounted for 29 total touchdowns. Erickson helped lead Ursuline to 13 wins and their first undefeated regular season in 13 years.
Tyreek Donlow, Ursuline.
Downright dominant on both sides of the ball. Donlow recorded 155 tackles this season, 17 for loss, with 11 quarterback sacks. He will graduate 2nd on the all-time list for career sacks.
Ian Erb, Mineral Ridge.
Mineral Ridge's Mr. Football. Erb did it all this season. 1,800 yards rushing, 400 passing, 400 receiving, and 37 total touchdowns. He also recorded over 100 tackles and broke a school record with 54 career rushing touchdowns. Ian Erb may also be one of the best we've ever had in front of a green screen. Fantastic job this year. Well, that is half of the class of 2023. Coming up after the break, we'll introduce the rest of our WKBN Big 22.
We checked with individuals that used R&D Construction, and they all were very pleased with the quality of his work. They put 43 square of shingle on my roof. That was a complete tear-off and replacement in 2 days. Randy recommended a certain roof pattern for us that we weren't even considering. We used that shingle on our house, and we were thrilled with it. We never would have chosen that shingle. It really pops on our roof.
We were very impressed with his vision. We were very impressed with his professionalism. It was perfect. We love it. I would recommend him to anyone.
Football season is here, and we're gearing up for another winning season at Fred Martin Ford.
We're making the holidays brighter at Fred Martin Ford, and smart shoppers know the best deals are always in December. That's why we're taking 12% off every new F-150 in stock, saving you as much as $8,000. Or choose a low 2.9% financing for 72 months.
At Fred Martin Ford, everyone is an eligible receiver of great deals because we sell for less, a lot less.
For over 2 decades, Gary Houston roamed the sidelines of local high school sporting events and Ohio State football games, capturing moments that'll live forever. Unfortunately, Gary's battle with cancer ended in January of 2022, but his memory lives on through his work. Whether you knew him from The Valley's Playbook, a sports publication he and his brothers Chuck and Ray ran in the 90s, or as a proud member of the Bucknuts media staff, the name Gary Houston will always have a place in local sports history.
Pre-holiday savings are happening right now at the only store with all 4 lines under one roof, the Stadium GM Superstore. Stop in for great short-term leasing, 0 down payment, and the best savings in the Valley. Like this new Chevy Equinox, yours for only $299 a month. This new Buick Encore GX, now only $319 a month. And this GMC Acadia SLE, just $349 a month. Log on to StadiumGM.com or stop out at the locally owned Stadium GM Superstore in Salem. Find new roads.
Welcome back to the WKBN Big 22. It's no secret, stats matter when it comes to making the Big 22. The bigger the numbers, of course, the better the odds a player will get voted in. So sometimes really good teams that spread the wealth struggle to get a player on. Struthers is a perfect example. They had 3 players in the backfield this year that split carries and shared in the scoring. So which Wildcats, if any, would impress the voters? Well, the answer is all of them. Here's the rest of our Big 22 class of 2023.
Devin Bram, Struthers.
Bam, Bam, Bram shattered the single-season school record at Struthers with a staggering 192 tackles. He also rushed for over 1,300 yards and scored 16 times, and he'll be back for more next season.
Anthony Carter, Struthers.
Another big year for the Cats' top rusher. Carter piled up over 1,400 yards and 18 touchdowns. He also recorded 76 tackles and helped lead Struthers to the Division IV Regional Finals.
Jason Dukes, Struthers.
It was a breakout season for the Wildcats junior quarterback. Over 1,300 yards rushing, 400 passing, and 19 total touchdowns. He also had over 100 tackles and 6 interceptions on defense.
Blake Ewert, South Range.
The Raiders' bruising back carried the rock 237 times this season for a jaw-dropping 1,968 yards and 21 touchdowns. Ewert helped lead the Raiders to 12 more wins this season and their 4th straight conference title.
Cole Fulton, Poland.
Cole Fulton joins Luke and Jack as the 3rd Fulton brother to make our Big 22, and for good reason. He led the Bulldogs to 10 wins this year with over 1,000 yards rushing and 17 touchdowns.
Tough McConaughey, Gerard.
QB1 for that high-powered Indian offense. Tough McConaughey lit it up with 3,130 yards passing and 27 touchdowns.
Antoine Gardner, Niles.
No one has ran for more yards in a Red Dragons uniform than Antoine Gardner. The Niles tailback shattered the single-season rushing record with 2,461 yards this season, and he scored 32 times. He will graduate with over 5,400 yards rushing and 65 total touchdowns.
Cabron Smith, Farrell.
The Steelers quarterback rewrote the record book at Farrell. Smith passed for over 2,100 yards and accounted for 31 total touchdowns. He will graduate as the program's all-time leading passer and scorer.
Michael Ballone, Lowville.
The Rockets QB did it all this season. 1,800 yards passing, 1,000 yards rushing, and 32 total touchdowns. Ballone helped lead Lowville to 11 wins and their deepest playoff run in school history.
Luke Henning, Western Reserve.
Henning is the first player in program history to rush and pass for over 1,000 yards each in a single season. He also accounted for 28 touchdowns and helped lead the Blue Devils to a share of the conference crown.
Hunter Homan, Grove City.
Another monster year for the Eagles QB. Homan accounted for over 3,200 total yards and will graduate as Grove City's all-time leading passer with a school record 6,500 yards and 95 total touchdowns. Well, there it is, our WKBN Big 22 class of 2023. Congratulations to all of our winners this year. It was certainly well-deserved. But we're not done. Coming up after the break, we'll announce our 5 blocks of granite, an award dedicated to the boys up front. The Valley's top linemen are coming up next.
Nightline Embroidery and Screen Print in Girard has been a proud sponsor of the Player of the Game for over 10 years. For all of your personalized school or business apparel, event and business signs and posters, they've got you covered. There's only one place to go, Nightline, West Liberty Street, Girard.
Times are changing, but at Spitzer Chevy Lordstown, our focus has always been on treating our customers like family. For over 100 years, that's always been true. Experience our enduring tradition this holiday season with someone who's always got your back. Enjoy Panda protection with our lifetime nationwide powertrain warranty. Experience all the benefits of shopping with Spitzer, an enduring tradition for a reason. From our family to yours, happy holidays.
At Spitzer, our world revolves around you. Every day's a holiday, every night's a good night. When everything that feels right is right here at home. Everything your home needs, everything your heart wants. Chili's has it all, Chili's has it all, and then some, and then some. Every day's a holiday, every day at Chili's. We have everything you need to feel right at home.
Attention high school sophomores. Now is the time to enroll at the Mahoning County Career and Technical Center. At MCCTC, we do things differently. We approach learning in the new school, hands-on, real-world way so that you are prepared not just for the jobs of today, but for the jobs of the future. We inspire innovation and collaboration in our more than 20 high-tech labs. Visit MahoningCTC.com and book a tour with me today. We can't wait to meet you.
Nightline Embroidery and Screen Print in Girard is looking to immediately add some new faces to our team to fill a number of open positions. If you have experience in silk screening or graphic design or are eager to learn, please email us your resume or apply in person today.
Welcome back. You know, one thing we noticed early on with the Big 22 is that most of the players voted in are the ones that get the ball. So we wanted to honor the players that don't. An award for the area's top linemen. These players are voted in just like the Big 22. We call them our 5 blocks of granite.
Elijah Carter, Cheney.
The Cowboys' big man shined on both sides of the ball this season with 16 pancake blocks on offense, 38 tackles on defense, 17 for loss, and a school record 19 quarterback sacks.
Santino Coca, Canfield.
The Cardinals senior anchored an offensive line that averaged over 300 yards of offense and over 25 points per game this season. Coca has helped lead Canfield to 21 wins over the last 2 seasons and a state championship last year.
Devontae Ellis, Warren Harding.
The Raiders lineman graded out over 88% on the defensive line this season. Ellis recorded 71 tackles, 20 for loss, with 7 sacks.
Dallas McCracken, United.
At 6'4", 265 pounds, McCracken was a monster in the middle for United. The Eagles lineman will graduate with a school record 142 career pancake blocks and will continue playing football next year at Youngstown State.
Gus Valentine, South Range.
The Raiders' big man recorded 61 tackles, 11 for loss, and 5 sacks this season. Valentine also piled up 125 pancake blocks and helped lead South Range to 28 wins over the last 2 seasons, including the Division V state championship last year. We've got just 2 trophies left, and they are reserved for the Ohio and Pennsylvania Player of the Year. We surprise our winners next, right here on this special presentation of the WKBN Big 22.
Coca's Pizza, your high school football headquarters. Come to our Boardman location and pregame with us with dollar beers starting at 3 p.m. Also want to stay and watch the game? We'll have it live for you. That's Coca's Pizza Boardman. We serve it hot.
In complex economic times, how do you choose a bank best for you and your needs? A big national bank? An online-only bank? Or a rock-solid community bank? Big or small, your bank should be well capitalized with in-person branch services and state-of-the-art technologies.
Your bank should be Farmers National Bank, rock solid since 1887, with a history of safety, soundness, and conservative management.
Farmers National Bank, rock solid.
Football season is here, and we're gearing up for another winning season at Fred Martin Ford.
We're making holidays brighter at Fred Martin Ford. And smart shoppers know the best deals are always in December. Like $3,000 off every Explorer and Escape in stock, along with 0.9% financing. You get all the rebates, all the discounts, combined with low rate financing.
At Fred Martin Ford, everyone is an eligible receiver of great deals because we sell for less, a lot less.
We checked with individuals that used R&D Construction, and they all were very pleased with the quality of his work. They put 43 square of shingle on my roof. That was a complete tear-off and replacement in 2 days. Randy recommended a certain roof pattern for us that we weren't even considering. We used that shingle on our house, and we were thrilled with it. We never would have chosen that shingle. It really pops on our roof.
We were very impressed with his vision. We were very impressed with his professionalism. It was perfect. We love it. I would recommend him to anyone.
WKBN First News at 6. Honored to be named Best Newscast in the Valley.
Coca's Pizza, your high school football headquarters. Come in after the game or watch the game live with us. And you can get a free appetizer with any large pizza purchase. That's any Coca's Pizza dine-in location. Coca's Pizza, we serve it hot.
Welcome back. Over the last 16 years, some of the best players in our Valley's history have earned the title of Big 22 Player of the Year. Players like Howland's Devion Smith, who led the University of Michigan in rushing for 3 consecutive seasons. Daniel Boom Herron from Warren Harding, a 4-year letter winner at Ohio State, who spent 5 years in the NFL. And most recently, Brock Lowry, Canfield's record-breaking state champion quarterback that's already earned playing time at the University of Indiana as a true freshman. Tonight, we add 2 more players to that list from both Ohio and Pennsylvania, and we decided to bring the award to them with a little surprise in their home stadium. Cabron Smith is well aware of what the Big 22 is all about. You see, Farrell has had a player make it each of the last 8 seasons. This year, Cabron made his case. 2,100 yards passing, 27 touchdowns, both new single-season school records for the Steelers. But he owns far more than just that. His 4,673 yards passing and 60 career touchdowns make him the program's all-time leading passer and scorer. But what fans may remember most is the winning. Cabron helped lead the Steelers to 32 wins and 3 consecutive District 10 titles, so Big 22 was no surprise. Pennsylvania Player of the Year, however, is something he wasn't expecting. And all it took was a quick glance over his right shoulder to see our special scoreboard message.
Player of the Year?
Player of the Year?
Congratulations, Cabron. Big 22 Player of the Year.
Congratulations, kiddo. We tried to surprise you a little bit, but the big one's yours, man. It's not just Big 22. It's Big 22 Player of the Year. It's well-deserved. Congratulations.
Oh, most definitely surprised me. I asked Coach Hamp and Eric Bell all this week, like, what are they coming for? Like, Big 22? I'm like, yeah, but y'all definitely surprised me. I'm just very thankful for this moment.
Cabron Smith in a nutshell. If you can make a kid that's so genuine, just a leader, just an overall good kid, Cabron Smith's name will be there.
I mean, it means a lot. Farrell has a big tradition of football here, and it's like I'm just one of those guys that did a good job, actually, and I put work in for that, actually, and I'm just blessed to be here.
His legacy is top-notch. Just take football to the side. Academically in school, he gets it done. He helps out the younger kids. He's such a role model. I'm gonna stop calling him a kid. He's just a great person overall, and he's one of those people that you wouldn't mind having kids look up to him and emulate.
Over in Niles, senior running back Antoine Gardner rewrote the Red Dragons record book this season. His 2,461 yards rushing and 32 touchdowns are both single-season school records. He will graduate with over 5,000 yards rushing and 65 career touchdowns, which in the 111-year history of the program ranks #1 all time. But Gardner didn't just pile up stats at Niles. He also won games. 7 this year, including the program's first full-season playoff victory in 23 years. So we convinced Antoine to meet us at Bo Ryan Stadium for one last walk through those historic halls. Unaware that his family, friends, and teammates were waiting just outside of that steel door, Antoine, who's rushed his way into the record books, walked right into our Big 22 history. Big 22's done. And you're the Ohio Player of the Year, kiddo. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well deserved.
Oh, you got me. That was a good one. I did not expect that at all.
I've seen my whole life, seen a lot of great players around here. If he's not #1, he's on the Mount Rushmore of what's happened in the history of this school. You know, this is Team 111, 111 years of football. A lot of this history, you know, is wrapped around this place. You can almost feel it when you walk in here. You know, he's deserving of that.
It means so much to me. It's like words can't describe how like much of an honor it is to play at Niles. You know, it's a special place in my heart for sure.
Well, that's all the time we have tonight. Congratulations to all of our winners, and thank you for being part of this special presentation. From all of us at WKBN TV, have a great night, and we'll see you next season.